Hey everybody, today's video is just going to be a look at the one Tigris Tegimen hammock hot tent, a little closer look, and the Winnerwell Nomad Medium, and how finicky it is to keep burning. So stay tuned. So this was supposed to be tied out to trees, but you can do it this way if you want. I think you get a better roof line up the middle. Won't sag as much if you're between trees with a ridge line. Corner poles. The only thing I did was, hopefully you can hear me with the wind, just use sticks. You can spend money on poles, a lot of money on poles. I didn't want to do that. Sticks work easy. I got plenty of them, and it's just staked down, 3 on each side. There's no floor, so it's pretty nice, pretty simple. Zippers at the top and bottom. There's 3 zippers actually. The top 2 are tied together to follow your hammock, and then there's a regular zipper for the door. I untied these 2 so I can use one as a vent. So they used to be tied together, that one and the one up top here. So they have it like that, so it'll follow your hammock line. Alright, so we got the Winnerwell Nomad Medium. So we're gonna get this thing fired up, and I'll show you where I gotta keep where I gotta keep things to keep it going. The vents and flue. Alright. Stick around. Alright, so we got the Winnerwell Medium, Nomad Medium. Works great, but it seems to be very finicky. And I got a few stoves, and they all seem to be that way. They're all different. So we'll get this one fired up. I just scraped a bunch of stuff off the floor, shavings from splitting the wood in here. Threw them in there. I'll just throw some sticks. Now first I'm going to put, this was about as big as you want to burn in this thing. I mean, it's a nice stove, but it's pretty small. So you try burning a big log, and it's just not gonna happen. This is even extreme here, putting these in. You know what, I could put a little bit smaller. I put one on each end, and then just put sticks in the middle, usually that and all the shavings that's thrown in there usually goes up no problem. We throw these in there. There should be plenty to get it going, which is not really the hard part, getting it going. Hard part is getting it to burn right. Start it however you want. Fire striker and ferro rod or torch. Go sit down, buddy. Now once this fire starts going, you leave it open, you get the most air. But I notice if I close it, leave this vent wide open, it'll usually take off good. The flue, I never even really touched the flue. It helps, I mean, just helps dampen it down, but I seem to be able to do it good enough with just this door. you open the door and smoke bellows out that top, that removable top. I don't know why. I don't like it. None of my other stoves have that. So basically just the vent in the door is how I get it going. Can you go sit down? No. I can't. I don't know if you can see it going, but it's going. It's just taking a minute. But in a minute this should be ripping. And then getting it to stay that way is the fun part. Sometimes it's hard to get started and you gotta open the door anyway. Just deal with the smoke. Once it fires back up though, you just close the door. Oh, there goes the fan. Fan's starting to go. It's hard to tell, but it's going in there. Now it's usually sitting on a welding blanket because you're always going to get embers falling out. And always have some gloves handy just in case. So it's basically going, or starting now. I'll let this get going good and then get back with you. I don't want to make a real long video, so it's been, I don't know, half hour and it's still going good, but it's probably getting close to ready to put another piece in. I'll show you. So that's about a half hour, and it was packed pretty good. Not packed, but so you're definitely gonna have to feed the thing every so often. If you ever have any kind of angle on your stove at all, try to make sure the front is lower than the back, so that your smoke will always naturally want to go up and out. The smaller the pieces, the easier it is to keep the burn, but you gotta feed it more often. I try to burn them hot. You can't just have a little tiny fire. It just doesn't work. And I would definitely have a variety of size wood at all times. Alright, just to give a better idea of the one Tigris, you can see axles back there on one cot. You can very easily turn that cot here and put another cot against this wall here. You can fit two cots in here. Now it's a hammock hot tent, so if you had a hammock hanging in here, you'd have a ton of room for gear. Alright, so we got a good fire going. Back you up a little bit. Show you the double wall stovepipe. Now it's probably, shit, I don't know, 90 degrees maybe, 80. One last thing I want to mention, I heard somebody else on their video talk about this too. The rack is pretty high up off the bottom, and they tried using theirs without the rack. Now, if you're not going to use this thing every day, I think that's fine. You can take the rack out, maybe get a better burn. Alright, thanks for watching. If you like this stuff, you can hit the like, subscribe, it's free. and ring that bell for future videos. Say bye, Axel.